So decided I'll go ahead and make my second video here real quick that I mentioned I was going to do. To go and do a recap about some of the cryptocurrencies that I went ahead and have personally decided to invest into, especially during this last economic downturn we had. And I commented about that briefly. You know, we all saw because of the coming SegWit why the market was down and now we've recovered. And what I decided to personally do is I decided to go ahead and invest in multiple cryptocurrencies. One, just for the fact that I don't believe in putting all of your eggs in one basket. I think a lot of people are doing that. That's a strategy. It's just personally, I think that'll pay off better in the long term to diversify because there's so many cryptos and so many that are promising. And also, I was looking at cryptos as far as what I think there's future potential growth. And what I mean from that is not just in the current market, but as the market grows. You know, as we've talked about before in the past, you know, the crypto market is right now it's some of the biggest it's ever been. We're at $100 billion right now, but the crypto market's still very small, relatively new, and it's expanding every day. And there's going to be an influx of new people coming into it. And I do believe just by proxy of all the new people coming into it, a lot of cryptos will increase in value just based on that alone, even if they're good cryptos or not. Um, but I ended up putting together a list of cryptos that I bought into in various amounts just because I believe they have good long-term growth potential. My criteria I try to look for is cheap ones that were under $1 a coin. The cheaper the better, and ones that seem to have either good, development team, good community, and something that stood out about it to me, either solid technology, innovative platform, that kind of stuff. So this is just the list that I came up with here of some of the crypto coins I'm looking into. And these are all proof of stake coins. As I mentioned before in my previous videos, proof of stake is the platform that I'm moving over to now. Not to say it's 100% better than mining. I just like the proof of stake because it doesn't take a really uh, it doesn't really take a high-end system to stake crypto. Keep in mind, for most of these, you need to own a ton of them to stake it for it to be worthwhile at all. But still, you have a chance of forging, minting, or earning more crypto just by holding it in the wallet. So that's what appeals to me about it. So here's the list of most of the cryptos. Well, not all of them, but a lot of them that I went hit. As far as the proof of stake, a lot of the proof of stake ones I've grabbed. You know, the first one is ARK, which I've mentioned before, which I think ARK hasn't really, aside from one brief time where the market had a giant upswing and it went up to like 90 cents in ARK. ARK hasn't really shined a whole lot yet. I actually bought some at the wrong time there and I overpaid for it a little bit, but that's alright, it happens. But I've been staking, someone commented in one of my previous videos that ARK isn't technically proof of stake, it's delegated proof of stake, which this is true, and if anyone wants a video on that, I'll explain what that is, but for all intents and purposes, we're going to call it proof of stake there. I like ARK because it's a unique platform that uses different types of common uh, programming language, so it can be integrated by like major companies to be used easily and seamlessly between them. That appeals to me a lot. I haven't seen a whole lot of coins like ARK, and I think eventually as the market grows, this one will really take off. It's kind of cheap right now. I mean, it's about 50 cents an ARK, so not the ideal price I'm looking for, but you know, I still like it overall. I've been staking a small amount in my wallet, and that's been steadily growing over time there. I've been getting regular payouts every couple of days, so that one I do like a lot. The next one I've been looking at is Espers. This one, it's like a proof of work, proof of stake hybrid there. Esper is supposed to be one of those kind of like multi-platform type of cryptocurrencies that has different stuff integrated into like email systems and other things like that that people can use. I think it has a lot of potential. It's really crazy cheap right now, last I checked, which much. I don't even remember how much it was going for. Let's take a look here. Esper's cryptocurrency. Yeah, it's only like 9 Satoshi at the moment. So Esper's is still crazy cheap. This is one that I also think, given time, is going to take off there. You know, I really think it's made by actually a group of developers. They're working on a whole bunch of different cryptocurrencies there. So they have a lot of different projects going, but you know, like Arc, you know, Espers, they both have very active communities, very active dev communities. So I think that both of these are going to likely take off. Other ones that I've looked at that, you know, a little bit not as sure on, but are still interesting. One is this one, Zetecoin, however you say that. Another proof of stake coin. Their big thing is that in the early days of this coin, as you stake it, the proof of stake rewards are very high, and then they're going to decline gradually. Their whole big thing is that supposedly this currency is very secure, very fast, and it's supposed to be very decentralized there. That's what they want to offer, is decentralized payment methods, you know, without any kind of oversight or control by governments, banks, that kind of stuff. That does appeal to me. I don't know. I'll admit I don't think this one particularly offers anything that super stands out, but it seems like it's still active. Last I checked, as far as the dev and the community, it's slowly been growing. So it's one I went ahead and got some of that, and it's like super cheap there. So I feel like this one could, as long as the developers keep working on it, it could end up growing more. Another one I looked at is To Give. This one was interesting to me when I saw it. It's basically supposed to be a non-profit based only cryptocurrency. It's proof of stake just like all the other ones. The whole point of it is that it's used strictly for, you know, donating to non-profit agencies, which, you know, I could see that having a appeal to people there, you know. And they're oh yeah, apparently it's proof of work too, but you know, lower payout than proof of stake. They got that whole hybrid thing. And I really pay attention to the proof of work part in the hybrids, to be honest with you. Probably because it's a script algorithm, which is, unless you have the right equipment, is near impossible for a regular person. Well, I shouldn't say impossible, but you need to have the right kind of stuff for that. But yeah, you know, their whole thing is, you know, donate to charities without, you know, revealing personal information, any kind of fees, taxes, all that kind of stuff. The technology, from what I've read behind it, seems like it's solid. Again, not particularly innovative, but it appeals to a certain niche, and that's what appeals to me about it. Again, another really cheap cryptocurrency there. I don't even remember how much that's going for off the top of my head, but another one that can be picked up pretty cheap there. Actually, how much is that one going for right now? No, that one, 125 Satoshi. So, not as cheap as Esper's, but still really cheap. Another one, which is probably, I've seen this mentioned several times on Steam, it is Redcoin. Decentralized digital currency. This is another proof of stake currency. Their whole big thing is it's meant for like a tipping platform to be seamlessly integrated into major social media networks. So what are they supposed to be? Or yeah, proof of stake velocity is what they call it. It's supposed to have some kind of unique proof of stake algorithm. I don't really understand that part of it. Their whole big thing is that it's written in such a way it's supposed to be easily integrated into lots of other platforms, you know, like all kinds of social media. Like their idea is like, you know, Facebook and Kick and I don't know, whoever else, Instagram, all of them could very easily integrate this as a built-in tipping feature if you want to send money to other people, or if you want to tip money to your favorite, you know, YouTube star, or not YouTube star, but you know, Facebook star, or whatever. That's their idea. I don't know. Do I think this one will take off? I'm not so sure, but I see potential for it. It's been around for a while, since 2014, and still is an active community. So I think as the crypto market kind of, you know, grows or expands rapidly. You know, this could be one of the coins that could get caught up in that. Another one that's really cheap as well. This one in particular stood out to me. It's a little bit higher, like ARK, it's a little bit higher in price there, but BitBay is one I liked a lot. The reason why is it's because it's supposed to have a decentralized marketplace that uses specialized unbreakable contracts. Kind of similar to Ethereum, but more heavily on the contract side. You know, like people will be able to negotiate contracts, and then you can't meet the if you have to complete the terms of the contract. If not, the contract can be broken and both parties can end up losing there. So it's an interesting system. There's one or two similar to it, but I haven't seen a whole lot similar to it. That's why I like BitBay a lot. Again, it's a little bit pricier there, but this one appeals to me a lot. And I'm staking a little bit of it. I haven't really gotten anything out of it yet, but I might eventually. The last two, PIVX, I've mentioned before. The price on it's too high that I haven't bought a lot of it to stake, but I mean, if you can, cool. Mostly I've just been buying it in short term and selling it. Actually, like I mentioned in my last video, I have some I need to sell pretty soon here, probably. I I feel like PIVX is a little bit overvalued, to be totally honest with you. Like, I get it's private, it's supposed to be instant, very secure and all that, but I don't see anything. It seems like it's built on very similar blockchain technology to Bitcoin, a lot of the others. I don't see anything on it. Yeah, it even says built on Bitcoin Core. I don't see anything that makes me feel like it stands out truly. I mean, to me, it's kind of like Litecoin or the others. It kind of just improves on something that already exists. Not necessarily a bad thing, but I don't know. I mean, short term, I think PIVX will pay off. Long term, though, I feel like it's going to be overtaken by other more innovative technology. That's just my personal feeling. I'm still going to buy and sell it, though. And the last one that stands out to me, which this isn't technically a proof of stake, but similar concept, is recently AntShares, which has been rebranded to Neo. People nickname this the Chinese Ethereum. I don't fully understand the technology behind it. You know, the big thing is that, like it mentions on their page here, it combines smart assets and smart contracts, you know, with digital assets, kind of like I guess a unique programming language, kind of like Ethereum. That's why people nickname it Chinese Ethereum. It seems like, from what I've read, everyone who's looked at it says the technology behind it is very solid and that there's lots of potential for it to take off. My overall thoughts, it seems like it's definitely going places. And of course, you know, it's got other things like being China's first original public blockchain, so it's got that going for it. You know, home team advantage and all that. And they mention all these other things about it too. I couldn't buy into that as much as I wanted to. I kind of missed out. I heard about it when it was really cheap at like $1 an ant share, and I meant to look into it. I was just so busy I totally forgot, and then it jumped up in price. I managed to score a lot when it was $5 an ant share, you know, and my mistake, but whatever. The reason why ant shares is a little different is you don't actually stake it, but it has a method where you can put it into a wallet, and by holding it in a wallet, it produces ant coins. Well, now Neo. I don't know if they're still called ant coins or not, but but the ant coins are basically kind of similar to Ethereum gas. It's something that helps power the network, but basically they accrue value over time just by holding it. I think even at the current price, I'm going to wait for the price to go down again, but I think even at the current price, it's a good deal because I think Neo here will end up taking off and really end up being worth something. It's supposed to use a unique technology that's similar to a blockchain, but it's not a regular blockchain. It's one of those things kind of like IOTA, where it's a blockchain-ish technology but improves on it. Not to say that those technologies are always better, and we've seen how IOTA did. You know, it was supposed to be revolutionary, and it is in the top 10, but it's far away from ever passing Bitcoin, Ethereum, and all that. So that's my list I wanted to mention. Basically, I was looking for very cheap cryptos that I could buy a decent amount of at a very cheap price, stake them and hold them to try and grow them, and then just wait for the value to go up, because you know you got short-term trading and long-term investing. I'm looking at these all as long-term investments. You know, like really, if you want to make a lot of money, like people with Bitcoin, you got to get them when it's really cheap, like $1 or $5 or whatever. And that was my aim here: find cryptocurrencies that are less than a few dollars, buy into them, and look at the long-term potential. 6 months, 8 months, a year from now, how much that these could be worth. So, definitely no guru on this yet, but we'll see. I'm hoping I'm going to be right. So if you have any opinions there, feel free to go ahead and let me know, and I look forward to posting my next video.